You probably don't know who Zohran Mamdani is, but somehow this one guy, a rapper turned socialist from Queens, is turning New York's politics into a reality show. He's been called everything from the future of America to a menace to the West, and last week he got accused of supporting terrorism because he shared a Google document. Yeah, that's where we are starting. See, Zohran's been in office since 2021, but what made him explode online wasn't some fancy speech or PR campaign. It was a clip, just one clip of him challenging Eric Adams over police funding in a room full of uncomfortable suits. And the wildest part, he didn't raise his voice. He didn't go viral by being angry or flashy. He went viral by being calm, almost too calm, and people loved it because we're used to seeing politicians either yelling or doing nothing. Zohran, he did neither. He just asked the exact question no one in power wanted to hear. Okay, here's where it all blows up. Zohran Mamdani didn't just stay a local political guy. He became the face of something way bigger, something that made a lot of people uncomfortable, especially powerful people. So picture this. He's standing on the New York State Assembly floor, talking about Palestine, not jobs, not taxes, not zoning laws. Palestine. And he doesn't sugarcoat it. He uses words like genocide, apartheid, while wearing a keffiyeh in the state capital. Now, whether you agree or not, that's bold. That's not the kind of thing politicians say if they want to keep things smooth. And people noticed. Media outlets lit up. Some called him a hero, others wanted him gone. There were rallies against him. Other politicians distanced themselves. He got threats, but also thousands of new followers online. It was like watching someone light a match in a room full of gas. But here's the weird part. He didn't back down. He doubled down. He gave speeches in front of massive protests in NYC. He skipped fancy fundraisers and went straight to the streets. He tweeted like he wasn't worried at all. And that's when people started saying, wait, is this guy just doing it for clout, or is he really about this life? But what happened next answered that pretty clearly, because he didn't just talk about the issue. He brought it to the most uncomfortable place possible. And yeah, the moment that happened, everything changed. For him and his future in politics. Let's talk about that next. So here's what happened. Zohran Mamdani didn't just tweet about Palestine. He brought a ceasefire resolution into the New York State Assembly. Yeah, a ceasefire resolution in Albany. That's like walking into a pizza shop and asking for sushi. It's just not what anyone ever expects. The resolution called for a permanent ceasefire in Gaza, an end to US military funding to Israel, and instantly people lost their minds. He had fellow Democrats accusing him of dividing the party. He had Republican lawmakers calling him a disgrace, and some of the loudest backlash came from his own colleagues. You'd think the story ends there, but no. He kept going, and then he did something even riskier. Zohran refused to attend a pro-Israel rally held on the steps of City Hall. He said it didn't acknowledge the death of any Palestinians, and he said showing up would be hypocritical. That's when you could feel the tide turning, not in his favor. Newspapers stopped calling him progressive. They started calling him radical. He got fewer endorsements. His next election suddenly way less safe. But here's the thing. In every interview since then, he stayed calm, still soft-spoken, still laser-focused. And that brings us to the part that honestly makes or breaks this whole story. Because it's not about the controversy anymore. It's about what he wants next. Is Zohran Mamdani just another viral politician, or does he actually have a bigger plan? Let's get into that. So what is Zohran Mamdani trying to do? Because if you look past the headlines, the tweets, the protests, the interviews, there's something else happening here. He's building something bigger. He's not just pushing bills. He's trying to redefine what it means to be a New York politician. He talks about housing like it's a human right. He knocks on doors even after elections. He shows up to protests not with press crews, but with a clipboard. It's kind of weird, right? He acts like a grassroots organizer after getting elected. Most people do that to get the seat. He's doing it from the seat. And yeah, it's definitely idealistic, but here's the twist. Some of it is actually working. His good cause eviction bill, it's gained support from multiple boroughs. His calls for a ceasefire, this sparked similar efforts in other states. He's even inspired new candidates to run for office on similar platforms. Now, does that mean he's changing the system? No, but he's definitely rattling it, and that's the real story here. Not just about Zohran Mamdani, but about the fact that one dude with no machine backing, no family name, no political safety net is still managing to make noise in a system that's built to mute people like him. So, is he the future of American politics, or just a moment in time? You decide. But whatever happens next, this wasn't just about a ceasefire. It was about picking a fight with silence.